something that I'm really noticing is that with running, there's like no one set way to do it. You can be told to run with a certain form, a certain arm carry, knee lift, hip drive and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, everyone just runs how they run. Even if you're like taught to run a certain way with a certain form by a coach, it's still up to you as an individual to find out how you're actually going to implement that. And no two people have the same form. Even though we're all taught what proper running form is, we all have different ways of running, which is pretty interesting because biomechanics and all that is a really deep field where people are able to make unique changes to make each body run as efficiently as possible. Some emphasize running longer, others emphasize running shorter. I'm also really curious how these running YouTubers like Eric Floberg and Marcus, the guy with the Minted brand, how they behind the scenes really stay on top of things. Running training and other aspects of their life, like their core responsibilities, like running a business. It feels difficult enough. Trying to push yourself mentally through a running workout, it is such a mental challenge. Yeah, it is such a challenge just to push yourself through every single rep, even if no one's watching you. Like I always like to come out here and run when people are out here. Like you see that there's people in the background. I don't know how you do that day in and day out for like years and years when you're not on a team.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This GR40 is not the DAX, right? The problem is so many people have been conditioned to thinking, like, damn, you have a 40 pip stop loss, like, or whatever the case may be, like let's say on an asset, but that's irrelevant. You just adjust your lot size accordingly. This is why I always focus on higher time frame plays, because your risk to reward gets so much higher if there's a potential for a big move.
Okay, so he's looking at ES futures. He said Bitcoin has a chance to go higher, but he wants to wait and see what actually happens with ES. It looks like right now the euro is kind of at a key daily level. The trend is down on the higher time frame. I'm looking at Bitcoin for a retracement. I hope it actually happens because I want to get this E8 account started. So maybe like a retracement into here. 50% of this imbalance area. Yeah, that went a bit. That's probably a bit of too much of an anticipatory entry. It was break even on my trading accounts. Hopefully I can show snippets of the trades. I think it's really important to make sure that when you have a day where the markets like don't go your way, that you find something else to do to get your mind off of it. A lot of times people spiral into trying to revenge trade all the time, and it's just not worth it because you're going to lose your account if you keep doing that. So right now I have other things to focus on, including getting my laptop fixed, and just really putting your mental energy into that is really important. Pomegranate hibiscus tea from Panera, barely any sugar in it, super good. All right, so I got that done. The laptop can't really be fixed. I didn't know you could actually install Windows on a Mac though, because I was told to do that potentially if that doesn't work with getting my microphone fixed, which is a real issue. I gotta see how it goes. I'm trying to figure out a way to really get more consistent with the trading that I'm doing right now, because I'm trying to build a few prop accounts while also making sure that I still build up the Darwinex. So that's like kind of the balancing act I'm doing right now. I'm trying to figure out how the best way to do that is. I'm trying to force myself to not trade the same assets on each account, because it seems like that's kind of working well, is keeping things separate between the two accounts. But I gotta see what works. And I gotta see how the market conditions are, because the past few weeks have been kind of not as I expected them to be, but they were working out. So that's good. The more and more I do this, the more I realize that it's all about doing things your way, not trying to copy anyone, because the more you copy, the more frustrated you get. Days like this where it's kind of like a break even, you're up and down, and then you just end up essentially at where you started. It's frustrating because you know you could have just taken your own trades and done your own ideas, but you decide to chase someone else's idea. So every day there's a lesson for that, and that's just really important in trading. All these people saying that they will give you signals and a free ticket to profitability and all this stuff, like they just want to sell you a dream. Pent-up frustration can come out when you start to trade on tilt. So I really don't want to do that. So I'm trying to stay focused. Do you ever just wonder where the time went? Like you spend all day doing the same thing, and then at the end of the day, you think to yourself, like, what did I actually do today? What was the actual purpose of all the things I did? And like, did I get anything done? Like I told people I was doing X, Y, Z, but like, did I actually get things done? People talk a lot about this 8-hour workday and how you actually can't really be focused for 8 hours. You can only be focused for like 2 or 4 hours, according to some studies. And I'm really curious to know, like, are we actually being productive? Am I actually being productive? Or am I kind of just going through the motions? I'm like, how is this impacting other areas of my life? Is it impacting my, like, my studying? Is it impacting how I actually learn new skills? Am I not actually learning to the best of my ability? These are the kind of things that I think about, especially when it comes to things that relate to, like, career and even just like using my mind more efficiently, using it better. So I'm very curious, like how am I actually using my time?
What's up, New York? This is Cal.
Of course, we had the big K-pop star doing the DJ set, and that was pretty cool to see. I'd never seen a K-pop artist that close in person before, so that was pretty cool. Vegas Pro 23 just came out. I want to see what the new features are, because if I can upgrade from this, from Vegas Pro 22, then I don't have to buy a whole new software. And I don't know why nobody really uses Vegas Pro anymore. I feel like it's a lot better than CapCut. So like in the trading space, there's a lot of people who talk about, oh, you shouldn't trade XYZ method, or you shouldn't follow this person, or whatever the case. And it's just like, if someone's trying to spout negativity, you can either choose to pay attention to it or ignore it. And the more that you ignore it and focus on what you're doing, the easier it is to make progress. It's one thing that I've really noticed. I think I'm gonna try to really limit my time that I spend like scrolling and looking for other people's opinions on my own trading. It's actually part of why I haven't even been making like videos, because I've been focused so much on reading things instead of just doing. And that's not good, that's not healthy. This whole idea of patience, not rushing into things, doing things because I think they're the right thing to do. At the time of this recording, I've just been thinking about this phrase a lot lately, because there's so much that I do out of haste, thinking that I have to get things done fast, and it just doesn't always work like that. Especially in trading, this whole concept of make as much money as fast as possible, it's so short-sighted and immature. At the time of this recording, I haven't traded at all in the past 2 weeks. And that's been on this Darwin account that I have. The reason that I am so satisfied, even somewhat happy to say that, is because in the past, I felt like every single day had to be a trading day. But I've had things come up lately. I've had to go to different events, different activities, whether that's boosting my professional aspirations or it's just some personal things that I have to do. In the past, I would feel so bad about that. Like, oh wow, I'm missing a trading day. The prices are moving. I have to get in. I gotta get in. Gotta get in. Gotta get in. Well, it's like, it doesn't lead to sustained profitability. It doesn't lead to sustained balance. A lot of your favorite traders, your favorite influencers in the trading space, they'll preach this all the time. Sit on your hands and do not trade. You have the discipline to take a trading day off instead of ending in a loss. To recognize a good opportunity and not take it, because you understand that there's always going to be another opportunity. Whatever model you trade, if it works for you and it gets you the results that you want to see, then it will repeat itself. You don't always need to be in a position. That's not what makes a successful trader. And there's really a difference between being a successful trader and just being a trader who trades in a way that works for them. Like, nobody said you had to be the best trader in the world. Nobody said you had to be an expert trader. Like, why do noobs come into this space thinking they have to be the very best trader in the world? I've been sitting on no profit and also no loss for the past 2 weeks. And I've been focusing my mental energy on other things. I think it's Jade Capital I heard use this term, mental capital. In trading, you have capital that you trade with, however much money you have in your account, but then you have mental capital. How much of that mental capital are you spending watching the charts move every single day, causing yourself anxiety, instead of just putting that towards something else and preserving yourself to persist in the long game with this trading thing? There's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of different economic events, And if you try to rush and trade all of them, because they happen like every single week, eventually you're gonna get some type of bad news cycle. You just end up in a bad trade, you blame news, and then you say, oh, trading doesn't work, I hate trading, I'm gonna stop trading. That's on you. It's you who decided to trade instead of waiting and just letting things play out. I am someone who likes to trade pretty often. I'm working on trying to trade less. A lot of the people I follow, they'll even say they don't like trading often. They'd rather not trade more than like 5 times a week, if that. They have other things going on, other ventures that they're just using trading as a vehicle to get to. In order to do that, I have to begin to practice that. I'm focusing on other things right now because there are things that are more pressing for me right now, more urgent. I think growing in this practice is going to be very beneficial when it comes to the longevity of my trading and really the maturity of my trading.